Hey folks, a warm welcome to yet another exciting segment of Unleashed with Sharon. You know, in today's world, we are all looking for something to fuel our lives. We're all looking for something to add color and flavor to our lives. Now, some people take to drinking alcohol and they tend to be alcoholics. Others, their lives revolve around work and they end up becoming workaholics. And there's a certain group of people that find their passion, realize their dreams, they spread their wings and fly high, and we watch in amazement. We wonder, what kind of people are these? Do we know these people? But surprisingly, these are people that we've probably grown up with. They may be our siblings. We may have worked with these people before. And we wonder, do they have the same number of hours that we do? Or do they breathe the same kind of air that we breathe? The secret is, the difference between these people and the rest of us is, these people have taken time to date themselves. What they have done is they've taken time to understand who they are. They've understood their weaknesses. They've understood their strengths. So it becomes easy. They have mastered the art of life. I've been away from the camera for the past few months, and this is because I was working on something. I had yet another exciting and important project, just like one being in front of the camera, but I realized that I couldn't do both at the same time because they both required the same amount of energy, the same amount of time, the same amount of resources. So I decided to put the camera on hold. But I am back, but while I was away, I was connecting with some of you. You wrote very interesting emails encouraging me. You know, I received a lot of positive criticism. That has also made me grow because we want to make this show more and more interesting. So in this segment, we'll take a different twist to it. We're going to respond to your questions, some of your questions that you sent in. I want to respond to those questions so that we can see what we can do next in the next segment. The first question is coming from a lady, and she says, I have so many ideas that I want to turn into projects. How do I proceed? I mentioned that I was away from the camera. I was doing something else. I could not do two things at the same time. Here is my take. You may be good at all those things, but what I would advise you to do is look at something that will flow naturally in, something that you can focus on at this particular moment, because what that does is, once you do that particular one, it will become easy for you when you move on to do these other projects, because we don't want you to be all over the place. You can't touch here, you touch there, and there's a popular saying which goes, jack of all trades, a master of none. So I would want for you to concentrate on one project, because by so doing, you'll have created a template for these other ones, or you'll have created a foundation such that when time comes for you to do these other projects, it will be easy for you to it will be more or less a copy and paste. You'll have already created a template, and it will be easy for you to just fit in the rest of them. Moreover, the challenges that you face in the first one, they be more or less the same challenges that you face when you start doing these other projects. So the moment you face some of these challenges, it will be like, oh, I've seen this before, so it's going to be easy for you, and you become a better person. And I know of a certain guy. He started out an HR, he's an HR specialist, so he opened up a company as an HR specialist or an HR consultant. He did so well. He created a brand around himself. He's a very well-known person. Now he's now getting into real estate. He's getting into payroll. He's also getting into debt collection. So it has become easy. So when I hear, somebody's looking for a house, it's very easy because they already know his company. It's already created. It already has that brand. It already has a name to itself. So it becomes easy. Everything will just fall in place because you'll have already created that brand. You're already known. Everybody knows you. So it becomes easy. The next question also comes from a gentleman. He says, I've had problems sharing my idea with people because, of course, you cannot work alone. You need to interact with people. We are social beings. So he says, I have difficulties sharing my ideas with people because every time I share my idea with somebody, the next thing, they are doing it. So here's my take. This is absolutely important. Please take time to listen to this. You need to surround yourself with the right people. Not everybody is happy that you're doing a certain thing. So make sure you surround yourself with people. And these are people that I categorize into 3 classes. You need to have a mentor or mentors. And by mentor, I mean these are people who have gone down that path. They've succeeded in a certain field. It may not necessarily be what you're into, but they've gone down that path. They've seen the hurdles that are involved in, seeing a project to fruition. They may have gone through so many things, so they understand what you're going through. But most importantly, these should be people that care about you. They understand your concept. So these are people who speak into your life. They'll pour into you. They'll criticize you, not because they don't like you, but they want you to succeed. So every person who wants to see a project to fruition must have a mentor, someone who's going to speak into their life, someone who's going to correct them when they go wrong, and someone who's going to cheer them up. You need someone to cheer you up when things are going right. Then you also need a second class of people, and these are people who you are literally at the same level. You may not necessarily be in the same field, but these are people who are, your idea is at conception level, or you have already started, let's say, in business. These are people who have the same issues as you do. They are the people that you can call. You need to register with the Zambia Revenue Authority. You can call them and say, hey, how do I go about this? And they'll be able to say, hey, you need to go to that office. You need to see ABCD. You need to see this kind of person for you to be able to register your business. There's also another class of people. I mentioned there are 3 people. So there's also people that I'm calling them mentees. These are people that you speak into. As someone is pouring into you, you're also pouring into somebody. This is an important aspect of information sharing. I strongly believe in information sharing because information sharing, that is where our lives revolves around. I love to give a very popular example of 2 candles. One candle is lit, the other one is not. Does a candle that is lit lose its light by lighting another? The answer is absolutely no. Or does it even grow any dimmer by lighting another candle? Definitely not. The third question is coming from a young lady who's sharing an office space with her fellow ladies, and she says she's doing very fine. She's doing very, very well. But the issue that she has is that these people are toxic. They're talking trash about her. They want to bring her down, and she says, well, I hate the fact that they're always talking about me. And then I asked her, said, what makes you think they're talking about her? She says, every time I'm walking into that office, I hear them talk. The moment I walk in, they stop and they start looking at each other. Here's the thing. You need to hold these people close to you. She actually used the word naysayers or haters. I love haters. For me, they're like road signs because life is a journey. It's like you set out on a journey to go to Kabwe. And imagine you're driving to Kabwe, and along the way, there are no road signs whatsoever. So you're driving, there's a school ahead of you. Instead of you slowing down, you just go past that. There's construction works going ahead of you, maybe 100 meters from you. No road signs whatsoever. There's a curve, you need to slow down. There's nothing like that. For me, naysayers or haters, I hold them so close. They are my darlings because they keep me on my toes. And it may sound a little bit childish because everything toxic, anything negative they say, to me, it's like fuel. That gives me so much energy to just go for it and show them to say, hey, what you think I cannot do, I can actually do this. So for you, my dear, look at the so-called haters as your close friends. Don't hate them. As I conclude, I just want to speak to the young people because mostly they're the ones who sent in a lot of comments, a lot of questions. I want to address you and just tell you that youth years fly by so fast. I was once a teenager, I was once in my 20s, and I just didn't realize where time went. So this is a time for you to do the right things. Do your school, find a career, or if you're an entrepreneur, find that interesting thing that you want to do for the rest of your life.